At first, I was thinking, okay, they're probably going to do a triple threat with Seth, CM Punk, and Roman. I don't know. Is it going to be as captivating as it could be versus CM Punk and Roman Reigns one on one? The majority of the time where I am listening to podcasts and whatnot and experts and people who are in the business, there's so much to consider in the dynamics of a triple threat. It's actually much easier to tell a story throughout the match throughout the course of a match if it's just one on one. Now, I did obviously with Seth and CM Punk, they've been having matches and beef left, right, and center. So I don't know if they're just squeezing every paste out of that tube beef to lead up to CM Punk and Roman. But now with Roman coming back and he's beefing with both of them, it might be inevitable or it might be obvious that they're going to have a triple threat. I'm just trying to think, would that be what me as a fan would want versus just a CM Punk and Roman Reigns match? So tough. This is the first year in a long time where I don't know if Roman is going to main event, obviously because it's not for a title. And then what do they have planning moving forward? They have, I mean, they have storylines to kind of tackle down, right? I don't think Roman still hasn't beaten Seth Rollins in a match one on one ever since Seth Rollins backstabbed him with the Shield, and CM Punk still has a favor to cash in with Paul Heyman. So whatever that's going to be, like so many different options, and obviously they're going to do all of them. It's just a matter of time when are they going to tackle it down. So yeah, it's interesting. It is interesting. The thing I'll say about Roman Reigns too is I like that his path to go over with the audience is storytelling. It's his moveset is actually really limited. Now, I recently found out that, and it makes sense. I recently found out that John Cena can actually do more than just the moves that he does, just like, the play the hits moveset. But if that moveset is over with the crowd and he's still getting cheers and whatnot or reaction, why do more when you don't need to? So that's the same thing with Roman. Like I don't what makes you want to follow him and root for his storyline is because of his storytelling, which I really like. And I think that's why I'm a big fan of Roman. Less is more, because if you look at the pace of, like, I was just watching him with the tag team last year with him and Rock versus Cody and Seth. He was moving so slow. He's like just soaking it all in, and we're drawn to him and awaiting every moment on what he's going to do next. He has the crowd in the palm of his hand, and he doesn't actually do that much in terms of a moveset, which is crazy. That's a great ability that he has. And I think also too, I think people were waiting for him to be heel for the longest time. He's a natural heel, right? So once you finally give the crowd what they want, then he can go about his business and be his true self. And then organically, he ended up being a babyface anyway, because, okay, you earned our respect. Thank you for giving us what we want, and we wanted you to be a heel forever. And thank you for giving us that. Now we're just going to treat you like a babyface. So even his music is very babyface-ish now, face-ish, if that's a word. And yeah, it's great. It's great to see him back, and I'm looking forward to what his storyline has in store. Predictions, I think it's going to be a triple threat. I don't know how they're going to finish it. Maybe Roman Reigns goes over as he normally does, or CM Punk goes over. He just has all the momentum right now. I don't know the last time he's lost a match. I haven't, maybe I need to do a better job keeping up with it. But yeah, he has yet to definitively lose a match where it's like, oh man, we don't know about CM Punk. Yeah, he's just crushing it. And we'll segue to CM Punk. But yeah, I think it's going to be a triple threat. I think they're going to put on a good show regardless of what they end up deciding to do anyway. So CM Punk, man, he's obviously or in my opinion, he's the modern day Stone Cold Steve Austin. I personally don't like his moveset, or I don't like his wrestling aesthetic. I don't resonate with it at all. That's the one thing I do have over Stone Cold versus CM Punk. But man, in terms of promos, in terms of his character, in terms of how he carries himself, he's second to none, or at least he's right up there with the best. His promos, the one he cut, what he cut on The Rock and John Cena, I think that speaks from the heart. Honestly, I think he really truly feels that way. Or if he doesn't, then he surely channels that to make it sound convincing. But CM Punk is no nonsense. He left the WWE being CM Punk, and he got back to the WWE being CM Punk. He's the prime example of people are gonna dislike you anyway, regardless if you're trying to please them or not. So you might as well just do you. And he's at where he is in his life because he's just done him. I really applaud him for his journey. It's crazy. He's one of those guys too. I can't. If my wife ever leaves me for him, no, I'm not even gonna fight it. He has just that masculine swagger. It's he oozes it. He uses authenticity and masculinity. It's crazy. So Seth Rollins, I will say this thing about Seth. He's obviously he's almost like it's like the Scottie Pippen, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way too. He's just always there to help out the team in any way, shape, or form. He's willing to make the sacrifices for the best of the team or the best of the business. So I equate to him to like his character is very much like Triple H. And I know that he's one of his inspirations, but just the guy who's always there just to ruffle the feathers. He's the least popular out of all the big stars, but if all the big stars aren't around and he's with the mid-carders, like he's the most cheered. So it's an interesting pocket that he's in. And yeah, I think right now he's having this storyline with CM Punk just to kind of prop him up for Roman Reigns. And that's part of the reason why I prefer CM Punk versus Roman, but for Seth to be working every weekend every week to keep matches going, to keep the storyline alive, to put CM Punk over, to prop him up for the big stars, the big matches, the headliners like Roman Reigns. And you got to give kudos to him. He's just a team player. He's just a utility belt. You can make him babyface. You can make him heel. He'll do both sides really well. And yeah, his reaction to when Roman returned is definitely meme worthy. So I'll say that about Seth. I'm not a fan of him, but I do respect him. Yeah, he's one of them. He's one of them ones. Okay, so Cody Rhodes, he cuts another promo on John Cena on Raw, and this might be an unpopular opinion. I feel like Cody's better off as the babyface chasing the title versus retaining the title. I don't know what it is. Maybe I don't have any emotional attachment to him. I was rooting for him, obviously, for that storyline, for him to finish the story. And I was in tears when the storyline had concluded with him winning and finally beating Roman. But ever since then, his reign hasn't really resonated with me. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I don't feel it from him. I don't feel it. John Cena as well. Like, I'm not really a big fan of him with his baby face and kind of how his promos are funny. It's a little bit closer to realistic promos or realism, like a CM Punk, whereas Stone Cold, The Rock, Ric Flair, they're very gimmicky. But I maybe I'm just biased to those types of promos or those types of characters. So I take it back to Cody Rhodes. He's doing a very, very magnificent job as a babyface. And the reason why I think they're pushing him so much with being a babyface, A, he does it really well. And B, it's like, yeah, baby faces are hard to come by. And we don't want him to turn into heel because he does the baby face thing so well. It's tough. He's like a supersized version of Jey Uso. Jey Uso, I think, and we'll get to him after. But Jey Uso is the baby face you're rooting for to get his first title. I don't know how he could carry that title as someone who's retaining or defending it. Because when you are a champion, what your job is to uplift your opponents that you're matched up with and uplift the other talent under you during your reign in a way that even if you do win the match, they still win and they still go over with the fans. So prime example is Sami Zayn, right? They attached Sami Zayn to Roman and he was able to get over by himself. Then what usually happens is that there's a betrayal, right? And back to Roman too. It's like, man, if I'm Roman, how do I have trust issues with anybody? With the amount of times I got backstabbed in my life, betrayed in my life. Got Seth Rollins from the Shield, Sami Zayn in the Bloodline. I don't know what loyalty he had or what he expected out of CM Punk, but even CM Punk eliminated him from the Royal Rumble after them teaming up and after knowing that CM Punk has a favor with Paul Heyman. If I'm Roman, I'm just frustrated. Anyway, but the reason why he was champion for so long is because he kept having great matches with opponents and he kept having them going over with the fans. They became better off with after they've attached themselves to Roman. So that's why he had the title reign for as long as he did. You know, that includes Jey Uso, that includes Sami Zayn, that includes maybe even throw Kevin Owens there. Maybe Kevin Owens was already made, but you see my point. And so what I'm asking is, even Cody Rhodes' like match with AJ Styles. Yes, AJ Styles is made. You know, you're not trying to bring up. You know, you don't have to you don't have to get him over with the fans, but it's hard to explain. I feel like the little engine that could starts to get bland after a while. You know, the David versus Goliath story it starts to get bland after a while. But if it's not Cody Rhodes at this point, here's the thing. At this point, who's going to face a heel John Cena? Stone Cold said it best. Like, you have to have a good dance partner if you're going to be doing a big match like that. So if John Cena was like matched up with Jey Uso, as over as Jey Uso is, like, that's not going to resonate with the fans as much. You have to be like full bore babyface to face a full bore John Cena, because the wrath John Cena is going to have as a heel, it's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. So just prepare for yourself for that. And I guess we'll see where it goes from. Just in short, I don't really feel Cody Rhodes. Now you know who I'm thinking about. Cody Rhodes as like our current champion and our current representative of the WWE. I'm sorry, Cody. I'm sorry. I just doesn't resonate with me. I'm sorry. Okay, so they did talk about this, and this is unrelated to the Raw episode, but I really am intrigued at the thought of Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio teaming up, because basically the world hates them, and I think they would actually go over with their fans even more if they teamed up, because they would just the trolling capabilities that they would have against the crowd and against the WWE universe would be immense. It'd be like, man, the merchandise they can sell, the backlash, like the fan backlash, like, you know, fun banter on social media would blow up, and Dominic would even go over even more. You know, he's doing a wonderful job as a heel. I think it's the perfect decision to have him go down that path versus try to follow in his baby face dad's footsteps. And yeah, he's carved a great career for himself thus far. But that'd be interesting. I would love to see Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio team up. I think that'd be, I mean, who's a really great heel. Now I'm talking like hate. Cause like NWO, they were heels, but they were cheered. I don't know who would be booed. I don't know. They might be the first one. So maybe that's something they've considered to do down the road. So Jey Uso, I mentioned him earlier. I really think, I don't know how long his title reign is going to be. Even once he defeats Gunther at WrestleMania, I think he will beat him. I'd be surprised if he didn't. But where do you go with Jey after? And who are you going to pair him up to kind of have him try let's see if I can uplift the talent, right? Does he get matched up with Braun Breaker? Right, the guy who he lost the Intercontinental Championship to. I don't know. Maybe Austin Theory, maybe whoever. But it's hard. Maybe Jimmy. Maybe a rematch with Jimmy. Try to get him over. But man, Jimmy's kind of like flying under the radar as of right now. So yeah, that one's tough. It's going to be great to see him. I guess that's my prediction. Like he is going to win it, and I think they might have, if they strategically match him up with wrestlers where it's like, okay, really Jey Uso is going to beat this wrestler. If they strategically, which I'm confident that they're going to do, if they strategically match him up with certain people, then I think he can have at least a minimum 1 year of the title reign. But it's hard for me to visualize that right now, because if you have the title, you have to face somebody worthy, right? So, and then do you want to sacrifice Jay's momentum just to protect the other wrestler's reputation? It's basically a chess board and a chess piece, or a chess game, a game of chess. How they're going to figure that out. So, but other than that, Jay's hilarious. I love his promos. If you guys haven't noticed already, when you're a baby face like John Cena or Jey Uso, I call it upselling. They are upselling the crap out of his merch, because then not only do you have the Yeet t-shirts, you got to get the matching sunglasses, you got to get the matching armband, you got to get the matching whatever the case may be. And you just gotta milk milk that for all you can while he has the run. So it's pretty hilarious how they just they loaded it up with merchandise so that his fans his fans or can buy all of it. So, but yeah, Jay's hilarious. I love his promos. I love his cadence as well. It's very different from like CM Punk. It's very different from even Roman Reigns. So I think he's carved a nice niche and avenue for himself with his approach and his character. So good subject. A short side note, big shout out to Fabolous. He's my favorite rapper of all time. He was in the building on Raw, and yeah, I love his flow. I love his lyricism. Rappers like him don't come by anymore, or at least I haven't noticed anything. But yeah, if you guys haven't already listened to his music from back in the day, I miss it. I miss that type of music nowadays. So big shout out to Fabolous. Then finally, Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. So that storyline to me it's another like triple threat potential where I'm like, how does this work out? Like Rhea didn't win the Royal Rumble, not the Elimination Chamber. Now I do remember that they had, I think it was Charlotte or Becky. I'm trying to remember when they had the triple threat with Ronda at WrestleMania. I don't know how they managed to sneak that in. I'd have to do my research, but I wouldn't be surprised if they tried something like this where they sneak Rhea in because of this whole beef, and with Io getting fed up and slapping Will Smithing both of them. I'm trying to find the angle for it because Bianca also has her storyline with Naomi and Jade Cargill, and how's that going to work out too? I'm trying to see like the avenues that they're going to maybe exercise. Yeah, I think it's good. Like even obviously hindsight's 2020, but this is part of the reason why I want to go live and stuff is because when Rhea and Io were matched up for Raw, like long before WrestleMania, I was thinking right away, I'm like, oh, there's going to be a title change because if Io has a chance to win the title and their storyline is he has never been beaten Io in a match, right? So how did I word it? Like when it first came up, normally if there's a title match before WrestleMania like that, and it's someone who's somewhat over, not somewhat over, she's over. Io Sky's a baby's face, but sorry. When it's two stars like that and there's a title match, especially with the twists and turns that they're doing, that means Rhea's might be having a different storyline with somebody else. And then Io and Bianca is going to have a match. The thing too is like, obviously everybody's anticipating Rhea and Bianca, and I think WWE's really making an emphasis on like, let's not be so predictable and let's give the fans a left turn when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I think obviously they're going to shelf Rhea and Bianca down the road for a one-on-one, or they're trying to figure out how they're going to make it work for WrestleMania and sneak her into a triple threat match or something like that. So because you don't want, I guess right now the WWE doesn't want Rhea to lose the title to Bianca. Not, at least not yet. So they'd much rather have Io lose it to Bianca if they actually want Io to lose. But Io also has her momentum, which is why she has the title. And her fate last year was losing the title. So does she retain it this year? Maybe, okay, here's my prediction. So it's going to be Io, Bianca, right? And then Rhea interferes with Bianca match because Bianca unintentionally interfered with her match with Rhea versus Io on Raw. So then they're going to have their match. So Io retains at WrestleMania. Now Bianca and Rhea have okay, I'm fed up. I'm done with you. Let's have a match to settle it. That might be at SummerSlam. And then maybe one of them turns heel again at, I don't know, or whatever storyline comes up with that, or Jade Cargill and Naomi beef and they're at WrestleMania. Whatever the case may be. I think Io is going to retain, but it's going to be through interference with Rhea involved. There you go. If it's not that, maybe a triple threat. There you go. So those are all the things I wanted to talk about today. Things that actually interested me the most. So if you haven't already, guys, give a thumbs up to this video. It really helps the platform and the show. And man, provide your predictions. I'd love to see them. Let's chop it up in the comments section. What are you looking most forward to in terms of the storylines, the matchups, the outcomes, your predictions? And then we'll kind of go from there. And man, let's just have fun. It's our road to WrestleMania. Thank you guys. Thank you.